Hello and welcome to the Parkinson's Foundation program, Mindfulness Mondays. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, we are so happy to have you, and welcome back to those who are returning. My name is Crista Ellis, and I am the Community Programs Manager for the Florida and Gulf Coast chapters with the Parkinson's Foundation. The Parkinson's Foundation will be hosting virtual events each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. To learn more and to register, please visit parkinson.org/pdhealth. The Parkinson's Foundation provides families with free resources, including our website, parkinson.org, educational books, webinars, podcasts, a hospitalization kit, and our toll-free helpline, 1-800-4-PD-INFO, which is staffed by Parkinson's specialists. To learn more about our resources in our upcoming virtual events, please remember to visit our website at parkinson.org or call our helpline at 1-800-4-PD-INFO. Join us this Wellness Wednesday to learn about driving and Parkinson's disease and how you can balance independence and safety. So again, that is this Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and you can register to attend this event at parkinson.org/pdhealth. If you aren't already and you are able to, I would like to invite you to join us on camera so you can see your Parkinson's community while we are guided through this meditation. I am so happy to welcome back our meditation expert, Dr. Craig Hase. Craig, if you'd like, join us and we'll get started.
Hello. It's so good to be here with all of you again. Crista was saying that she's now looking forward to Monday mornings, and that's a new thing sometimes. And I feel the same way. I feel like, oh, wow, fun. We get to hang out together Monday morning, Monday afternoon, Monday evening maybe for some people, and do this mindfulness meditation together. So I'll just talk a little bit, very, very briefly about some of the benefits of mindfulness. When I was starting out in meditation, now 25, 26 years ago, there was almost no decent scientific research published on the topic of mindfulness. And then a psychologist at the University of Wisconsin, Madison, Richard Davidson, started to publish really good, hard-hitting empirical science on the benefits of mindfulness and meditation. And he created kind of an avalanche, a trend in the scientific community. And so now there have been more than 7,000 studies published on the benefits. And so there's this, you can look online, there are these like giant lists of all the things that are good about mindfulness and about meditation. And in our book, it's called How Not to Be a Hot Mess. We wrote it with my wife, Devon. We break it down basically into three things. Three are what are the three most important things that are good about meditation? And the first one, and we certainly know this from the research, hundreds of studies now have been published, it lowers stress. So mindfulness meditation lowers stress. You can count on that. If you do, maybe let's say 10 minutes a day for 5 or 6 or 7 weeks, you'll probably notice that your stress levels, not just during the meditation, but throughout your days, start to go down. So meditation lowers stress. And there's lots of reasons for that, and we can get into that. If you have any questions at the end, we'll have a little time for that. The second thing that meditation certainly does is increase focus. And so in some ways, this doesn't sound like such a big deal, like, okay, you increase focus, but if you think about it, really anything that you want to do in your life requires some level of focus, especially the important things. Whether it's getting work done or making a grocery list or spending time with your grandkids or having a conversation with a life partner, husband, wife, all of these things actually require attention. And the more that we can create a kind of atmosphere of awareness, of attention, the better all of these different things will go in our life. So when we talk about increased focus, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about being able to bring ourselves fully to whatever we're engaged in. So that's the second thing. It increases focus, mindfulness meditation. Third, in our book, we call it, it could just make you a better human. And so there's all this research on this now about how actually mindfulness meditation unlocks the heart. So many of us, as we go through our lives, our natural tendency to be connected with others, to feel love, to want to be open and connected, it gets bunched up. You know, it gets bunched up by stress, it gets bunched up by all of the difficulties that we encounter in our lives. And when we meditate, that bunching up starts to very slowly soften, starts to very slowly release. And I think what we notice, this is my experience myself, and now my experience working with hundreds, probably more than hundreds of people, long term, the more we meditate, the more we realize that our natural state is, our desire is to be open and connected. And we start to acclimate to that open-heartedness through the meditation. And so that's the third point that we think is pretty important, that meditation leads to a kind of open-heartedness, a connectedness that we call maybe being a better human. And there's also research on, it's not just a feeling, it influences how we actually behave. We do different things, more altruistic things, more what they call pro-social things in the literature. So that's just a little summary of, okay, why do this at all? And there are many, many, many other reasons. You can look up online. There's big lists of 21 benefits of mindfulness meditation, all these different pieces. And so there's many different techniques of mindfulness meditation. And I think this is a big bonus because we're just doing the same technique again and again and again and again. Two different things can happen. One is that we can just get bored. So for example, a couple weeks ago, I taught meditation on the body. Did a body scan. A body scan is one of my absolute favorite meditation techniques. But if I do a body scan every single day for 30 or 40 days and I don't do any other kind of meditations, it's going to start to get a little dull for me. Likewise, Devon last week taught a meditation on the breath, which is another one of my absolute favorite meditations. But if I only meditate on the breath over and over and over again, at some point, the mind will start to get bored. So that's why each week we're introducing a new meditation technique for you. The second reason, besides needing to spice it up a little bit, is that what we want to do is bring mindfulness into every aspect of our days. It's not just that we meditate a little bit in our chair with our eyes closed, and then we go back to being mindless throughout our days. The idea is that we use this 5 or 10 minutes of meditation as a kind of training ground. And then the real practice is, how do we bring that mindful awareness into our lives when we're cooking, when we're walking the dog, when we're taking a shower, or when we're having a conversation with a loved one, maybe even a difficult conversation? Can we stay with our experience through that whole range of activities that we participate in every single day? And so then there's these different mindfulness techniques that can help us stay in a kind of flow of awareness. And so what we'll do today is mindfulness of sound. And so mindfulness of sound is especially delightful to me because it's so portable. if you're somebody who has hearing, some of us have difficulties with hearing, and then just to say, if you have difficulties with hearing, that's perfectly fine. You simply work with the level of hearing that you do have. So you don't have to have perfect hearing. It's fine if you have hearing aids. It's fine if your hearing aids are difficult and make weird sounds and distract you and all those other things. That can be part of the meditation. So you don't have to have perfect hearing to do this. But hearing is a wonderful meditation object because it's always with you. So you can do mindfulness of hearing while you're, as we're about to do, sitting down, eyes closed, quite concentrated, not a whole lot else going on. And then once you learn to do it that way, you can bring it on the road. You can do hearing meditation while you're driving. You can do hearing meditation while somebody is speaking to you at the checkout counter at the grocery store. You just kind of tap in, and it becomes a skill that you bring with you wherever you are. And as you get used to it, it brings with it a kind of atmosphere of more calm, more alertness, more awareness, and a kind of gentle upliftedness, I find. It takes a little practice, just like every worthwhile skill takes a little practice, but the dividends that it pays can be fun. So that's enough talking, I think, for me. I think let's just do the meditation, and then I'll leave some time at the end for you to type in any questions that you might have. Totally optional, no problem if no questions come up. But we'll just do this meditation for maybe about 8 or 9 minutes, something like that. And then at the end, there'll be plenty of time if you have anything that you need to clarify with me. So you can settle in to a posture that feels comfortable for you. Maybe you're in your car right now. Maybe you're in your office or in your living room or in your bedroom. Wherever you are, just find a posture that feels comfortable for you. I feel like you can sort of ease into your body, relax into your body, and allow your eyes to close. And even before we go into the formal hearing sound meditation, it's always nice to just check in with your body, to drop into your body. So just feel how your body feels right now. Just with your eyes closed, allow this warm awareness, this kind of kind attention to feel your shoulders. Just feel how they are. There's no right and wrong. You don't need to get rid of tension. You don't need to do anything, make anything better right now. Just feel how it is. Feel how it is in your arms and in your hands. Just with this kind attention, know how you feel in your chest and your back, your belly, your legs. Numbness is a feeling. So if it feels numb, that's welcome here. Agitation, restlessness, discomfort, it's all welcome here. And then we're just bringing this warm awareness first to the body. And welcoming your experience of this physical form. The good, the bad, the whole experience. And then just gently turn your attention to the realm of sound, the world of sound. So for me, I can hear a garbage truck going by. I can hear the construction, sound of saws next door. I can hear birds. I can hear the sound of my own voice. It doesn't matter what you are hearing, whether it's birds or a dump truck. The idea here is just to bring this same warm awareness, this kind attention to hearing itself. And so we'll spend a minute in silence. And just for this minute, really hear whatever you hear. Hear the sound of silence, or hear the sound of a refrigerator. Whatever is in your environment, allow your awareness to receive sound. Now, of course, the mind, the thinking mind, the remembering mind, the planning mind will continue. And you don't need to block out your thoughts. You don't need to get rid of your thinking. At the same time, you can notice when you get lost. When you get lost in your thinking, when you lose track of sound, just notice that happened. And then very gently and with a lot of friendliness and awareness, come back. Just come back to this realm of sound. Really listen. Listen for whatever sounds might be here, whether it's the sound of my voice, or the sounds in your house or in your home, your car, wherever you are, simply listening with this kind attention. And you're listening whether it's pleasant, whether it's unpleasant, whether it's neutral. You're kind of just making space for the living awareness of sound. We'll just do one more minute in silence as you listen to whatever might be here. Very good, very good. And now you could allow your eyes to open and really see where you are. Maybe pick an object nearby that you see quite often, perhaps, and see it fresh. Like really look at the colors, really look at the shape or the design, the texture. Try to see the room you're in as if you've never seen it before. Like it's a brand new experience that you're having right now. Notice the details. And you could stretch a little bit, stretch your body. It's always nice to roll your shoulders if you can, roll your neck. Maybe if you can put your arms over your head. Take a nice deep breath, let your arms down. Good, good. So that was just a meditation on sound. And I think you'll notice in mindfulness meditation in general, whether it's meditation on the body, meditation on your breath, even meditation on sound, meditation on your thoughts or your emotions, which we'll do a little later on, I think next week. What we're doing is we're always using what's available to us. So it's not that we do some very, very special thing. It's actually that we do the most unspecial thing with intention. So John Kabat-Zinn, who's kind of a master of mindfulness meditation and one of the first people to use science to study it, he talks about mindfulness is paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, non-judgmentally. That's what mindfulness is. And so once we know that mindfulness is just paying attention in a particular way, then all of these different aspects of our lives can become opportunities for awareness. Our breath can be an opportunity for awareness. All of the sensations of our body can be an opportunity for awareness, whether it's pleasant sensations or quite unpleasant. Hearing. All of the aspects of this living experience turn into, I mean, for me, I treat it like a game almost, like play. What can I notice now? So if you have any questions, you could type them into the group chat to everyone, or if you have a private question that you don't want your name attached to, you can do a chat just to me privately. And I'll read out the question, but I won't say the name. So you can either do the question to everyone and everybody will see it, or if you want a little more privacy, you can just ask me the question and I will not share your name with everybody, but we'll still talk about it. Comments are welcome too. Anything that you have to say is actually really welcome here. And sometimes I think these moments are opportunity to build community, sort of get to know each other a little bit. Yeah, wonderful. So Crista is asking, are there benefits to using a specific sound to meditate, such as sounds of nature? Wonderful question. So first of all, yes. My personal favorite is to do this meditation in nature because I try to spend as much time around trees and creeks as I possibly can. I live in a town called Ashland, Oregon, which is in the southern part of Oregon near the California border. And I lived in downtown, but there's a creek that runs through town. And so I do a lot of my meditation sitting next to the creek, and I just listen to the creek. And it feels very calming to me. It calms my nervous system. It kind of gets me reconnected with myself. However, it's also important to do this meditation, and I also do this meditation in really unpleasant circumstances. So you don't have to do this part, but I'll put myself somewhere like loud in the middle of traffic where people are beeping at each other and dump trucks are going by. And I'll do this same sound meditation because I want to make sure that that sense of awareness that I'm developing, which leads to a calm and a kind of equilibrium, a positive equilibrium, can be durable enough that it works with whatever sound arises. So it's both. Yes, I think nature especially, very, very, very helpful. And then second, it's good to just do this wherever you are, whatever is happening. And sometimes it's especially good to do around sounds you don't like. Okay, we've got one, says, you suggested to have a 10-minute practice a day at minimum. Which kind of meditation exactly is to be preferred? And you're Italian, wonderful. Your English is very good. So there's no better meditation than another. And what I recommend is doing whatever meditation feels good to you. So if you're really interested in breath meditation right now and you feel like that's really working for you, I would do that for as long as it works. So if breath meditation works for you for 5 days in a row, 6 days in a row, 7 days in a row, 30 days in a row, just keep doing that same meditation for as long as it feels interesting and alive. And then when it starts to feel dull, at some point it will start to feel dull, switch. Then do sound meditation for a while. And as long as that stays interesting and alive for you, do that sound meditation. And then when that gets a little dull, switch, do a body scan, right? So that's why it's good to know all these different techniques. But I wouldn't say that one is necessarily better than another. They're all leading to the same place. And it's just a question of doing what works. Oh my gosh, someone just said to me privately, we live in Ashland too. Hi. So here's another one. I personally love meditation, but think some of the research has allegiance affect problems. And I also think some of the adverse effects are understudied. For me, it is like a martial art. Instead of knowing where my feet are, I get a sense of where my mind is. Great point. So Lois is bringing up some important points. We're just starting to get really good research on the possible adverse effects of meditation. In fact, there's a researcher at Brown University whose name is, oh no, I've even met her. This is terrible. Oh well, I'll get back to that one. Whoop. So there's good research now coming out about what the effects of meditation could be that are adverse or not so good. Typically, that's happening for people who are doing a lot of meditation. For example, if you go and you do a 10-day silent retreat, you're going to have a very wide range of experiences that are quite intense, right? Very, very intense positive experiences, but also very destabilizing experiences. And if you don't have the proper guidance on those kinds of intensive retreats, things can go quite wrong. Also, there are certain personalities, like people who are susceptible to psychosis, for example, that might not want to play around with meditation because it can actually lead to psychotic breaks for them. That's extremely rare. I mean, the base rate is less than 1% for that, but it's not impossible. It does happen to people, especially for people in their early 20s, according to what the research seems to suggest. So, very important point from Lois about it's not all rainbows and unicorns. Like anything, you know, like doing yoga and getting a pulled hamstring, or like starting an exercise regime and feeling terrible in your body at first, there are difficulties that come along with meditation. The research has an allegiance effect problem. Lois, you and I, we need to just geek out on this one because I'm running out of time. But that is also a really good point. I'm sorry I don't have time to really dig into that. Next time, we'll meet again in 2 weeks. Devon will be here next week. I will be here in 2 weeks. I'm going to wrap it up now very quickly because I've gone over my allotted time and I'm feeling very guilty. Thank you all. So good to see you.
Thank you, Craig. And for those of you who would like to reach out to Craig and or Devon, please visit their website at devonandcraighase.com. Jennifer, if you could please write that link in the chat so that Lois might be able to find Craig's email address. And thank you so much, Craig, for that wonderful guided meditation. I do live in an urban city, so there are a lot of busy sounds around me right now. And I think a lot of us have a lot of busy sounds internally in our own thoughts. So that being said, I would like to invite you all to come to our Mindfulness Monday next Monday. We will be doing a meditation on thoughts, and Devon will be our guided meditation expert. So Craig, thank you so much for your time today, for your knowledge, for your wisdom, and for your guidance. And for anyone who would like to join us on video to say goodbye to your mindful Parkinson's community, please do come on video and say goodbye. And we'll see each other either Wellness Wednesday for driving, or we'll see each other again on Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you all so much for joining us. Bye-bye.